Okay, so you still love him, and I totally get that. I want to be clear that this video is not about whether or not you love him, but I want to ask you something, and I want you to really sit with it for a second. When was the last time you felt like you, really you, not the version of you that shows up the way she thinks she's supposed to, or is managing everything, or keeping the peace, or making sure that everyone else is okay? But the actual you, the one who knows how she feels, has her own energy and her own clear sense of what she wants from her life. If you had to stop and think about that, if the answer didn't come very easily, then this video is for you. Because remember, what happens to so many women in relationships isn't a massive explosion. It's quiet and it's gradual. A little concession here, a dropped hobby there, a swallowed thought over dinner until one day you look up and you realize, I have completely disappeared inside my own life. Today, we're going to talk about why this causes so much internal chaos and how to finally choose yourself again without blowing up your life. I'm Karen, relationship coach and someone who understands what it's like to feel like you've disappeared inside your relationship. If you want to learn more about my story and how I was able to completely transform my relationship without doing couples therapy, I want you to check out my free masterclass. Let's start with the first way all of this happens, the slow loss of your own voice. Ask yourself, how often do you feel nervous or scared or hesitant to speak up about something? Something really simple, just because you're afraid of the reaction on the other side. So instead, you say nothing. You tell yourself, it's not worth the fight, or I'm just going to let this go. It's like swallowing a tiny lump of hot ash every single time you have a thought, a boundary, an opinion. In the moment, swallowing it feels safer than putting it on the table. But over time, that swallowed silence stacks up inside of you as resentment, exhaustion, and chronic tension. When you censor yourself to manage his emotions, you aren't creating actual peace in your home. You're creating a fake harmony built entirely on the sacrifice of what's real for you. So why do we do this? Because somewhere along the way, we were taught this false narrative that being deeply in love or in a happy relationship means that you have to merge your entire world into his world, and that it's okay. And for a lot of women, it's expected that you're going to be the one that lets things go. So you drop your hobbies, you stop voicing your opinions, and you adjust your mood to match his, because it can become an unspoken expectation. And you think, if I just adapt, if I don't cause friction, our relationship is going to be so much easier because he's not doing it. And here is the tragedy of what actually happens. It will backfire. When you erase your own personality to keep the peace, the relationship loses its spark. Curiosity dies, attraction fades, and what I see over and over again is that the relationship will end anyway. Or worse, it decays into a flat, passionless roommate dynamic where you guys are just hanging out side by side, but not really enjoying each other. Attraction and real interest requires both of you to show up as you. If you lose your voice and merge into this life that you created with the expectation that you're not going to really ruffle feathers or show up fully or express yourself or do the things that you want to do, you're going to lose that connection. And this is also where that deep anxiety and frustration come from. If you are feeling constant internal chaos right now, it's because there's a massive mismatch between how you actually feel on the inside and how you are presenting and acting on the outside. It's like living a double life within your own skin, feeling one thing, saying and doing another, just to keep the waters calm. We cannot live in this mismatch long term. Your body will literally revolt in the form of anxiety, panic, exhaustion. Here's what you need to hear today. You have to choose you. And choosing you does not automatically mean leaving. You can choose yourself inside the relationship. And when you do, it actually makes the relationship better. But you can't be afraid of losing the relationship along the way in order to choose yourself. Because if the relationship requires you to erase who you are and just to keep going, a great relationship was never meant to be two people melting into one blurred figure. I always describe a healthy relationship as two people walking side by side down a path, holding hands along the way. They're connected, they're moving together, but they are still two distinct individuals, each walking on their own path. In every partnership, there must be three distinct entities: you, your feelings, your dreams, your hobbies, your interests, your boundaries, and him, his feelings, his interests, his boundaries, his own path, just like you have your own path, and then the relationship, which is the space that you build together. When you abandon you to protect the relationship, the whole thing eventually collapses. So here's your starting point this week. It may sound small, but it's actually the most important part. I want you to really start paying attention. Notice the exact moment where you feel that impulse to not speak up, where you start to abandon what you wanted just to adapt to the situation. Notice the internal friction that creates. You don't have to fix it overnight. Just really starting to acknowledge it to yourself that it isn't working and how that feels, that can be a lot of motivation for what comes next. And if you are ready for what's next and you're ready to stop disappearing and learn how to choose yourself again, I am here to support you through it. Click the link below to schedule a free call with me today or sign up for my free mastermind, where I'm going to break down exactly how to rebuild your boundaries, speak your truth, and bring yourself back to life in your relationship. You deserve to exist inside your relationship fully. All right, I'll see you in the next one.